How we doing, everybody? Hope we're all well. Hold on one second. So, happy Sunday to everybody. As I say, hope everyone's well. Today, good night of fights last night. Now, of course, going to be a lot of questions for you people. You're all going to be going on, talking a bit of shit, no doubt. See a lot of backlash online for some goddamn reason, but here to answer any of your questions. So, great night of fights, really was. Shame about the main event. Shame. Rafael Fiziev is such a great fighter and such a great dude, really is. But such a shame that it ended so quickly. And no doubt, I mean, I don't know the extent of his injury right now, but one's going to assume ACL, something like that. So yeah, it's a real shame for him. Congrats to Mateusz Gamrot. You know, that might sound like a weird thing to say because, you know, he kind of won by default, if you will. You know, but that's the way it goes. That's the breaks. That's the way the cookie crumbles. You both walk into the Octagon together, healthy, ready to go. And if an injury happens, then it isn't the opponent's fault. You know what I'm saying? So, there we go. Great night of fights from top to bottom, though. Co-main event, Bryce Mitchell got the job done there. And I'm sure you're all going to come at me there. Apparently, I am a Satanist. Wow, isn't that absolutely hilarious? I'm a Satanist now, apparently. That's a new one for me. I've been called a lot of things over the course of my 44 years on this planet. But a Satanist, that's the first one. Why did I refuse Bryce Mitchell his prayer? Says NH. Number one, I never refused him to do a prayer. Not at all. And if I'm not mistaken, Bryce and Dan Ige both got on their knees and prayed. And prayed, should I say. Prayed. Pardon me. My word. Read a book. So, yeah, I never stopped them. However, you know, I'm there to do a job. And, you know, I try and be good at my job. And the time was up. The time was up. We had to move on. It's a live TV show. I know some of you probably have never worked in TV. The vast majority of people don't or haven't. It's a TV show and it is highly produced down to the very, very last second. That's why we always get told you can't give the microphone to anybody, even though people still try. Like, for example, when Tom Aspinall had his last fight, he was pumped. He got a very, very quick win. He goes, Mike Bisping, give me that microphone. And we even had a laugh about it because when he said that, he said he felt my grip on the mic go even tighter. Because he did. Because you can't let the fighters have the microphone because then all of a sudden they're in charge of the show. And as I say, it's a highly produced TV show. They got to get to sponsors. They got to get to adverts. They got to get to features. They got to get to promotion pieces for the next pay-per-view and all this type of thing. They've got to fit them all in. Do you know what I mean? So you can't just let someone start holding court. So you got to keep hold of the microphone. So, I mean, that's generally it. The producer in my ear says, "Rap, we got to move on." I got to move on. You know, we answered some questions, and that was that. So, you know, Lord's Prayer says to prayer in a closed room. Well, if he did say that, then fair enough. 666, that is correct, George Gomez. I'm the devil. Didn't you know? I am the devil. That's sarcastic, by the way. No doubt someone's going to trim that out. Best commentary of John and Cruz. I always love working with Dom Cruz, and, of course, the one and only Brendan Fitzgerald. Brendan's such a professional. Gaz Hammond says, Matt, can I get a shout out for my daughter's birthday, please? Her name is Cody, and it will make her day. Cody, happy birthday to you, sweetheart. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope your father, Gaz Hammond, treats you well and gets you everything you want and spoils you rotten. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. Pray with me, Bisping. Well, the reality is that I am not a religious person. However, I was raised as a Roman Catholic. I was born into a Catholic family. I used to be an altar boy when I was a kid. I went to Catholic school, but I'm not a believer. You know what I mean? So that's that. Although, having said that, I respect people's beliefs. You know, we're all entitled to our beliefs, and good for them. Well done. You know, no judgment here whatsoever. But I'm not a religious man. That doesn't mean I shut down the prayer because I'm not a religious man. My thoughts and feelings don't come into it. I am there to facilitate an interview, okay? Mr. Sharp says, thoughts on Ian Gary? Yeah, fantastic fight. Who's he fighting? Vincente Luque. Vicente Luque, that's going to be an incredible fight. UFC 296, I mean, what a stacked card that is. I saw Bilal Muhammad come out and talk a bit of shit because it's Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. Then the flyweight titles on the line. Pantoja defending against Royval. There's also, who else is there? Some other great fights as well. Oh, Paddy the Baddy versus Tony Ferguson. Give me your thoughts on that. We'll talk about that one in a minute. And of course, Ian Gary versus Vicente Luque. So from top to bottom, I mean, what a night of fights that is going to be. Got a couple of super chats coming in. First one says, and I think it's a bit disrespectful, it says, Mark G, I'd slap you if you paid me. Like that. Well, I'm not going to pay you to slap me, buddy. That would just be stupid. But give it a shot, buddy. If you see me, come up. Come and slap me. Give it your best shot. Anyway, Alim says, what's up, Bisping? What are some of your favourite fighter UFC entrances? Mine is Adesanya's in Australia versus Robert Whittaker. Yeah, that was great. A lot of theatrics in that one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. You put me on the spot there, Alim. I mean, that's a great thing. You know, we see some amazing personalities. And Bryce Mitchell's an incredible personality. I had him on my podcast. The actual interview's on this channel, by the way. And we had a very, very respectable discourse. We had a good conversation. He believes in, you know, the earth is flat and things like that. And gravity's not real, you know. So you got to have a laugh with stuff like that. But I also said to him, I respect your religious beliefs. Said it very, very respectfully. So, you know. It is what it is. There's a lot of people online coming after me, calling me all kinds of names, a devil worshipper, a Satanist. Oh my God, I posted a picture of myself, Brendan Fitzgerald and Dominic Cruz. My God, the comment section. I mean, some of the comments are wild. And in fact, absolutely hilarious. I'll treat you to a few of them. Let's have a look here. It says, Mike, I've always been a fan, but not letting them pray is just wrong. I never stopped anyone from praying. They prayed. They got down on their knees. What a slap is a well overdue shout out, says somebody there. Wow, class act. This is how it starts. They stopped letting fighters. Anyway, there's a lot of shit out there, but I couldn't care less. I would rather talk about the fantastic action that happened. And you're right, Stefano McBeard, I don't need to defend myself. That's why I haven't really done so on Twitter or social media. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to lower myself to defending myself because there's absolutely no need. Shivy says, people always talk crap about Arkansas and Oklahoma. Well, at least we in Oklahoma know the earth is in fact not round. So it's flat. I'd say it's spherical. It's not round. It's not a circle. It's a spherical object. Brother, if you want to think it's flat, go ahead. Think it's flat. Who cares? Who cares? You know what I mean? Mike, say hi to Catherine. She's your biggest fan from the Philippines. Catherine, what's up? How are you? Shiv Shanghavi says, do I think my prime version could be a champion at either middleweight or light heavyweight, as I believe the technology and training has become better compared to my era, and the fighters today would dismantle any of the GOATs. I don't necessarily know if I agree with you there, buddy. Of course, training technology and methods is always improving. I mean, that's just the facts, isn't it? I mean, if you look at records in athletics years ago, they're always getting broken because human beings are becoming stronger, faster, more athletic because of the training methods, supplements, not talking steroids, all that type of thing. Training methods are improving all the time. But I never competed 50 years ago. It hasn't improved that much. Ultimately, when you're fighting in the Octagon, it comes down to some very basic stuff. You know, number one, your skill, your heart, your determination, your discipline in a training camp. A lot of that can overcome a very, very smart strength and conditioning coach. You know what I mean? Some guy that's giving you the latest fucking fandangled fad. You know what I'm saying? So, ultimately, I don't think it's progressed too much. I hate Jesus, says Mer. Well, for one, I don't hate anybody. Oh, there's maybe a couple of people, but I don't certainly hate somebody that I don't believe in. For me to hate him, I would have to believe that that's a real person. I don't believe in God. God bless anyone that does. Do you know what I mean? But how do I hate someone that I don't believe is real? I'm not a believer, you know. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. There's a lot of other people out there. Do you believe the earth is flat, Mac? Do you believe there's no gravity? There's a lot of stuff out there. I know I'm just saying the things that Bryce Mitchell said there. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there, you know. Anyway, Ryan Staunton says, I've always wanted to know, what are your thoughts going into the next round after being dropped by the knee from Anderson Silva? Thank you, legend. Well, yeah, Ryan, to be honest, there's not much time for much of a thought process. You're just going to put it all behind you and crack on. You know what I mean? You can't feel sorry for yourself. There's not too much. I mean, I remember Jason Perillo saying, look, listen, we're winning this fight. You know, you've got to have the ability to put what just happened in the past and move on, which is what a lot of these dickheads need to do. I don't think Bryce Mitchell had an issue with anything. Yeah, it's all in the past. You know, that's the last round. Now you got to move forward. Of course, you know, when you got blood pissing out of you and stuff like that, can make it a little bit difficult. But you can't dwell on that. You say, all right, the guy got me. Maybe I made a mistake and I wasn't as focused as I should have been with the mouthpiece and stuff like that. But fair play to Anderson. He got me with a beautiful knee, you know. It is what it is. I was still conscious. You crack on. You keep fighting. All right, we got Bubba G here. Bubba G says, did the UFC tell you to end the interview with Bryce and not let Dan pray? Love the content. They never told me to not let Dan pray. However, like every interview, you get told to wrap. Every interview, there's a time schedule. We've got to get to commercials and stuff, like I said. So, for example, when I interviewed Muhammad Usman, they say one question. Have one question. Or if they're short with their answer, you know, some people are. Some people elaborate. Some people have a message to say. Some people talk about some hardships in their life or maybe some lost loved ones, which is a terrible reality. So they might go a little bit long. And if they do that, they say just one question. Wrap after that one because they don't have time. So it went on for a little bit and they said, yeah, got to wrap, got to move on. So that was that. You know, we had to move on. But to the UFC's credit, they did zoom in and focus on them sharing a prayer on the Octagon canvas. They were allowed to pray. They weren't dragged out of there. Security didn't go running in. But still, you know, conspiracy theories, you know. So that's about that. We'll leave that one there. Regarding the fight, though, Creative Commons Bear says, do I, in my prime, think I could beat the PFL champion bend over? Come on, bro. It's 2023. That's a joke from, I don't know, 2089. Fucking hell. 59 more like. But thank you. Did the UFC. We did that one there. Got a few super chats coming in. Not going to do too long today. I'll do a quick hour and then we're going to barbecue. It's a beautiful day here in California. Weather's starting to turn. It's getting darker earlier. It's not that hot anymore, so we're going to have a barbecue later. Going to do some steak, some chimichurri sauce, some potato salad, a nice salad tomorrow, mozzarella salad. So I'll do a quick hour. So whatever you've got, come at me, ask me your questions, and we'll talk about the fights, some upcoming fights, and things like that. Don't want to dwell on this stuff, this nonsense about, you know, me being a fucking a Satanist. Can I do another interview with Tom Aspinall? I will. I would love to. Who said that? That's Guru's son. I will do that. I don't want to. You don't like to pester people too much. You know what I mean? Tom's been very gracious with his time. He's been on the podcast many times. But when he gets maybe a fight booking or something like that, yeah, for sure, we shall do that. What is my opinion on Shavkat versus Wonderboy? Yeah, is that 266 as well, or 96? What am I saying? 66. UFC 296 wiki. Because if that is on 296, then this is one of the best fight cards going right now. I mean, oh yeah, there it is. Leon versus Colby, Pantoja Royval, Ferguson Pimblett, Shavkat versus Stephen Thompson. And what was the other one that just got announced? Versus Vincente, and Ian Gary versus Vincente Luque by all accounts. Not on the Wikipedia page yet. Whoever's updating the wiki, you need to get with it. But that is, I mean, that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to be Vincente Luque and Ian Gary. Talk about a main card. That is ridiculous. Bilal Muhammad came out and said, oh, you can tell they know Colby's not a draw because they've got to stack the card. I understand Bilal's trying to get his title fight and he's trying to talk shit and all the rest of it. And fair play. You know, you can't blame him for trying to do that. But that is a great way to round out this year. So Shane McGregor's not going to be on that one. I'm pretty sure that is the fight that everybody wanted to see. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Looks like we're going to have to wait till next year for that one. Who's my favourite fighter of all time? Well, Eric Shun. That would be the one and only, the Spider, Anderson Silva. I think a lot of people would say the same thing. He's just incredible. Inspired me when I was younger. I say this all the time, but I'm answering your question. Yeah, I say it all the time. I mean, he's the man, you know, the way he competed, the way he handled himself. Some of the knockouts were just ridiculous, weren't they? So, yeah, got to say Anderson. Thomas G says, Mike, good knows your... Oh, good. I think you mean God. God knows your heart is pure. Need not worry, brother. God bless you and your beautiful family. Well, thank you, Thomas G. I appreciate that. And I think that's the most important thing. I said this last time. You know, as long as you're going through life trying to be a good person, and I don't profess to be a perfect human being, far from it. I've made lots of mistakes in my life, and hopefully I'll make less going forward. But I try to be a good person. I try to be respectful. You know, I look after my family. I try and be the best father and husband that I can be. Look after my parents. Try and be a generous person. That's the most important stuff. Do you know what I mean? So thank you. Thomas G. Very kind. Why do you think MMA fighters, this is Shiv again, why do you think MMA fighters are always losing to these influencers in boxing, even though y'all are obviously tougher? And do you think a pure MMA striker like you, Dustin, would dismantle them? Well, we've not really had a fair representation. I mean, of course, Jake Paul has beaten a few people, and he just beat Nate Diaz. But Nate Diaz isn't necessarily... Nate Diaz is as tough as they come. But he's also pushing 40. He competed most of his career at lightweight. So he was fighting a bigger guy, a younger guy, in his prime, and at a different sport. Nate Diaz has spent so many years doing jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Thai boxing, knees, elbows, clinch, stuffing takedowns, getting back to his feet. He hasn't only been working on the hands. And he's almost 40 years old and a lot of miles on the clock. And he was never like a Conor McGregor-esque striker, even though he did beat Conor McGregor and gave him a good fight the second time. But he was never like the most powerful, explosive striker. A tough motherfucker, and certainly a candidate for the Hall of Fame one day, for sure. So no shade. Who else did he beat? You know what I mean? Anderson Silva, pushing 50. Tyron Woodley, way past his prime. You know what I mean? So I don't think that they are beating MMA strikers. I mean, for example, I'll give you one. Darren Till. Darren Till would smoke Jake Paul. Leon Edwards would smoke Jake Paul, right? There's a Shavkat Rakhmonov probably. There's a lot of great strikers that would destroy that man. One, they're not getting called out by him though. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Old Bob, are you serious? Is that for me? Monster Energy is king, according to Bryce Mitchell. My God. If you haven't seen my interview with Bryce Mitchell, it's on the channel. Watch it. It's wild. Bryce is great. He's got some out there theories, you know, but God bless him. No judgment. And we had a lovely back and forth. He loses his mind at one point. He says, do you believe that we are descended from monkeys? And I'm like, I don't believe we're from monkeys, but I know the point he's trying to make. We are descended, in my opinion, from apes. I don't know the exact science behind it, but that's what I've always been led to believe and taught. And, you know, that is the popular belief. The reality is, I don't know. I haven't done my studies. So, but yeah, I'll go with that one. And he loses it. He's like, you're a fucking fool, Bisping. It is a lie by Satan. So, and it goes on and on. But then he starts laughing. And even after the fight, by the way, Saturday night, after we had the interview, and Bryce and Dan Ige were allowed to pray, just I didn't take part in it because I've got to get back to the bloody back to my desk and carry on doing my job. There's other fights. He walked past, and a lot of the fighters, when they walk by, they often give the commentators a fist bump and stuff like that. He walked by and he goes, "Oh my, we fucking killed that podcast. That was hilarious. We got to do it again." So Bryce is great, and he had a great performance, man. How do we feel about the performance of Mike Oxmall? Don't know about that one. Mike Oxmall. Chimaev's going to smash Costa. I mean, that's the next pay-per-view, isn't it? My God. My God. It's going to be good. I can't wait. Islam versus Charles Oliveira. That's going to be sensational. Probably leaning towards it. Well, I am leaning towards Islam. I think Islam gets the job done. I think Charles Oliveira, will give a better account of himself. He really, really will. And cheers, everybody. Having a little cheeky Sapporo. Have a cheeky beer on a Sunday. Rebecca's down at the supermarket getting the stuff for what's it called? For the barbecue. Getting the steaks with the chimichurri sauce. We're on a chimichurri kick at the minute. Just started making our own stuff. Fucking hell. I don't know why I didn't start doing it sooner. Makes a steak absolutely bloody delicious. What do we think about the Fiziev injury? He looked at his leg. It looked like his left leg after the first. So maybe Gamrot's kick did that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched the fight back. Obviously, the fight's finished yesterday. I jumped into the car. I drove home. I encountered traffic. I had some maniac jump out of the car and he's trying to start a fight with me. Fucking idiot. And then I got home. It was past midnight when I walked in. So I got up. I had a nice little lie-in because I was exhausted. I had a workout. I had a freshen up. And here I am. So I haven't watched the fight back. But it was his left leg. I wondered, and we wondered last night on the broadcast, if it was obviously you plant one foot and you kick with the other. And when you kick, if you imagine this is the foot that's planted, you rotate it. Maybe when he rotated, he did that. Maybe it was something to do with the kicks of Mateusz Gamrot, because he did land some really, really heavy kicks at the start of the first round. He went in hard. Have I ever trained with Peter Irvin? I haven't, no, mate. Why don't you ever mock Muslims? Why I mock Christians? Where's that one? Who said that? I don't mock anyone. I mean, I do mock people. I take the piss. Because I am born a Christian, right? I went to a Catholic school. Do you know what I mean? And what do I mock? Didn't I just say? I said Jesus isn't real. I don't believe in him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the fool. So what? So fucking what? Who cares? You do you. I'll do me. And that's the beautiful thing about this world, isn't it? We're all different. If we were all the same, what a boring place that would be. What a boring place that would be. All right. So quite a few of you here. So thank you for joining us and spending some time on a Sunday. What's your secret for having such a great transition from fighter to your impressive current career? Well, thank you, D. Gannon. I don't know. I don't think there is a secret. I mean, it's about being ambitious. I've always been very ambitious. And when I was younger, when I was fighting, I was always terrified. You know, I left school at 16. And you all know this. You know this about me by now. I left school at 16 and went into, minimum paid work, working in factories and stuff like that. And even though my wife and I, we were working hard, we couldn't make ends meet. We couldn't have a decent car. We didn't have money in the bank. We couldn't go on holidays and stuff like that. And it's hard. I was talking the other day. I was reminiscing because I watched this TV show called Alone. It's on Hulu. It's brilliant. Watched the seasons in the Arctic. It's fantastic. They're hunting down moose and stuff like that. And it just brought me back to when I worked in the slaughterhouse. And I remember I would start work at 7 a.m., work till 5:30. I would ride my bike there 8 miles in the pitch dark in the middle of winter, 6 o'clock in the morning, riding my bike in the pitch dark with no lights on, almost getting run over, work all day, jump in the car, drive home. And I'll be honest, I never really had an issue with it, but I was broke at the end of it all. So when I was fighting and I was starting to make some money, I was very cognizant and aware that this can all end in a heartbeat. And that's the reality. A professional fighter's path is hard. And after the fight career, there's sometimes not much to fall back on. Fortunately, as the sport has grown, the UFC does give us opportunities, like the desk work, which is where I started. And now, obviously, I was able to turn that into commentary. So, yeah, it was just always wanting to do well, be ambitious, provide my children a great life, open doors for them that weren't open for me necessarily. Not knocking my parents. They did a fantastic job. My parents worked hard. My dad did his best by us. And he's a part of the reason why I'm sitting here having this conversation with you. So, yeah, no secret. We're going to remember for 2 months, Tyler Sauter, Paul Craig versus Brendan Allen. Who do I think is going to win? I mean, that's a great matchup. What's the date on that one? I forget what date it is. Hopefully I'm commentating that one because that's a fantastic main event. Paul Craig had a tremendous middleweight debut. But Brendan Allen's a tough son of a bitch. I'm not sure, man. I'm not going to give you an answer because I'm not sure if I'm commentating. And if I'm commentating, it's a little bit out of order. But I don't know. I'd have to check. Hey, Mike. This is from Jacob Chavez. What up, Jacob Chavez? Do I have a favorite color commentator besides me or Anthony? Anthony's not a color commentator. And do you need any help with video editing? Not right now, Jacob, but you never know. Maybe in the future. But right now, John Brannigan, he's the editor on the channel, does a fantastic job. But thank you very much. Favorite person? Don't necessarily have a favorite. And I know that sounds like a vanilla answer, but it's great that you get a rotation. If you did it with the same person all the time, I'm not saying that you get bored or whatever. You never know, but it's always fresh. Sometimes you're with Cruz or you're with DC or you're with Paul Felder. The reality is they're all great guys. John Anik's awesome. John Gooden, Brendan Fitzgerald. They're all great. They are. And that's why they're there. Oliveira's a stud. What's next for Tom Aspinall? Gane doesn't sound interested. Yeah, he doesn't sound interested. Said he doesn't want to fight behind him. I think next for Tom should be Sergey Pavlovich. I think next for Cyril Gane should be Curtis Blades, somebody like that. Hold on, I should have had my glasses on, my contact lenses. They got blurry as hell. My friend Nick wants to say hi, Black Health 101. Well, hope you're well. So yeah, I think Tom, probably, for my money, Sergey Pavlovich, he's right there. And that would be the fight for Tom. Because if you beat Sergey Pavlovich, then you're going to get the winner of Cyril Gane versus John Jones. What do I think about the South African fighter Cameron Simon? Says this guy about 1 million times over and over and over and over and over again. Don't worry, I saw you, but I saw it. I'll be honest, I don't know too much about him. I don't think I've called one of his fights. Apologies if I have. There's so many people on the roster these days, it's hard to keep up with them. He fought recently, I know that. Yeah, I'm sure he's great. Sorry, buddy, I don't know too much about him. I wish I did. Wish I could give you more in that regard. But I can't, so let's talk about this. Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. What do we think about that? Let me know in the chat who you think wins. Normally the guy that does the polls, and he's at a birthday party today. So he's not here to do that. This is Simon Bunnell. My missus went to school with you in Clitheroe. She said you and your brother were mental. Yeah, we were a little bit mental. We were kind of a little bit, you know. I was young, crazy. I think I was a pretty fun guy, though. Do I think Ferguson beats Paddy? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, Tony's on a 6-fight losing streak, but the reality is the people that he lost to are not, they're no mugs. We're talking the absolute best people in the lightweight division by far. You know, we're talking Charles Oliveira, so on and so forth. Let's go down. Bobby Green. All right, Bobby Green, to be fair, isn't one of the absolute elite, but he's a very, very good fighter. Nate Diaz, as we know, Michael Chandler, Beneil Dariush, Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje. So there's no shame in losing to any of them. There really isn't. And this is kind of a come down in competition in terms of Paddy Pimblett, in terms of ranking, but certainly not in terms of star power. Paddy's a massive star. So for Tony, it actually presents a really good opportunity. And I know some people will disagree with that, but it does. It presents a good opportunity because a lot of people think Tony should retire. So this is a chance for him to compete in a pay-per-view, to go out there against a young star that everyone's really high on. And I know some people are off the bandwagon these days, and get a win over him. And if he can beat Paddy Pimblett, a guy in his prime, then it gives some extra longevity to his career. Flip side for Paddy Pimblett, gives him a chance to get a win over a legend and probably a future Hall of Famer. So yeah. I'm paying him to go to a birthday party. All right, top 5 UFC fighters of all time, anyway, division. Well, we've got to have John Jones in there. We got to have Anderson Silva in there. We got to have probably a Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell, there's 3. Got to have BJ Penn. People forget about BJ Penn. BJ Penn back in the day was incredible. There's 4. If another one comes to me in a minute. Satanic Bisping will let you know, Esteban. Love Paddy, but with him saying he's Scouse and not English, it does my head in. Yeah, that's a little bit silly, isn't it? It is a bit silly. Someone here says, Christopher Gonzalez says, what if Paddy loses? Well, that's a real eventuality. It's a real possibility. And the reality is, you fight in the UFC for long enough, most people lose. Of course, we've had a few people that didn't. You know, Khabib Nurmagomedov, for some people, the GOAT. Incredible career. But a lot of people, they have losses on the record. So if Paddy loses, it's not the end of the world. Far from it. And he will learn from that and get better. You know, so it is what it is. I mean, that's the risk you take every single time you step foot in an octagon. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. So it's not the end of the world. BJ Penn is 16-4-2. What she mean? Am I atheist or agnostic? I've still got the bloody, the page on. Am I atheist or agnostic? So what's agnostic is, if I'm not mistaken, I'm unsure, I don't know. And then an atheist is, I don't believe, correct? Hold on. I think that's, I want to give you the right answer. Technically, an atheist is someone who doesn't believe in a God, while a Gnostic is someone who doesn't believe it's possible to know for sure that a God exists. Yeah, well, I'll say I'm agnostic, you know, or potentially even leaning towards atheist. I've never felt it. I've never felt it. And I remember when I was a kid, I said to my mum, because we had to go to church every Sunday. And sometimes we wouldn't go. Sometimes my older brother Stephen, shout out Stephen, he'd take me, Conrad, and Stephen, the three of us, we'd go to the Catholic club, which was a little club attached to the church. And, you know, they sold cheap drinks in there, and we played pool and stuff like that, and then we'd just go home. And Stephen would say, you know, if they asked what the church said, the mass was about, say this, that, and the other. You know, but we get rumbled. Of course, we get rumbled. And one day she was flipping at me, you know, for not going to church. I'm like, Mum, I don't believe in God. Whoosh. Oh, the biggest slap ever. Do you know what I mean? Someone says, am I still salty about GSP? I am the furthest thing from salty you could ever imagine. George St. Pierre is one of my favourite people. Oh, there you go. There's the five. George St. Pierre. How can I forget? George is the man. Incredible fighter, better human being. We've hung out quite a lot. He's been on my podcast. We did a YouTube interview not too long ago. That's on the channel if you want to check it out. We had some good laughs. We've shared each other's company quite a lot. George is brilliant. There's no saltiness. And I'll tell you what, as I said before, losses are a part of this business. People get beat all the time, and nobody stays champion forever. I am very proud to say that I lost my belt to George St. Pierre. It's way better than saying I lost it to some fucking guy that no one gave a shot. George St. Pierre is one of the greatest of all time. And Demetrius Johnson, of course, Wesley. Was GSP juicy? I don't know. That's what they say. Certainly doesn't look like it now. He's all skinny and lean, isn't he? Every time Bisping pokes his eye, Satan kills a kitten. Well, I've got to do it. That's 2 kittens dead. I apologize. But we've got to do something about this toxic plasmosis. I need answers on this horrible direct from you, Bisping. I hate that Mike Oxmall. I do. But, you know, it is what it is. Some of us are blessed. Some of us aren't. You know what I mean? And if Mike Oxmall... Anyway, we'll leave that one there. Sean O'Malley or Davis? I mean, you gotta fancy Davis, haven't you? Oh, Pereira versus Yuri. I mean, come on. We talked about this the other day. We've got lots of stuff to talk about. We never talked about Paddy and Tony. We never talked about Neil Magny and Luque or Shavkat. And who was the other one? Shavkat versus... Who's Shavkat fighting again? My God, my mind. Shavkat versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Come on. That is going to be brilliant. If Pereira beats Yuri... and then beats Jamal Hill, can you imagine him fighting John Jones? Is his dream to get revenge over all 3 Glover's title losses? I mean, I'd like to see that. If Pereira can beat Yuri, and if he can beat Jamal Hill, yeah, but I wouldn't give him much chance against John Jones simply because of the wrestling. You know, and I think that's fair to say, guys. Let's have a look at the news section of mixed martial arts. See what's going on. See what's making the headlines right now. So, Fazeev, we know about that. Footage shows hospital overrun with UFC fighters. Oh, we got to talk about that. Michelle Waterson last night. Oh man, I saw a bit of that video there. Michelle Waterson, we can see her there in the thumbnail. Michelle Waterson, Fazeev, and a few others. Michelle Waterson's awesome. She really is. But last night, my God, we've got to give it to Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez was devastating. She was so good. And the tie clinch was absolutely brutal. It really was. You know, a lot of the time, Michelle was trying to close the distance to get the takedown, but when you don't get the takedown, you end up in a clinch. And in a clinch scenario, if someone's really, really good at utilizing the tie clinch, they're going to get it, and then they're going to start destroying you, driving up knees, elbows, all the rest of it. And the problem with the knees and the elbows, there's another kitten dead. The problem with the knees and the elbows is that they cut you wide open, and they do so much damage as well. You know, I mean, this compared to this, it's just, there's so much leverage, there's so much power, and the elbow, bone on bone, Bone on bone. And yeah, so I thought Michelle showed a tremendous amount of heart. Even at the end of the first round, the faces all bust open. She's still smiling. She's still going strong. She still fought back into the fight. But Marina Rodriguez, she's a real one. All right, we've got another super chat here. It's from Heisenberg MMA. Heisenberg, shout out Breaking Bad. My IG honors you, and you're my profile pic. Oh, well, thank you, Heisenberg. Someone's been messaging me thinking I'm you, ecstatic when I'm responding. Haven't had the heart to tell him. This has been going on for 6 months. What should I do? I do believe that's called catfishing. Am I correct? I believe you're catfishing me there, Heisenberg. You need to tell him. You need to rip the Band-Aid off. Or don't. Or don't. Michael, let's be honest here. The Bryce interview did not make you look bad. What the fuck is Bryce bringing the Bible and religion into the Octagon for? Well, I thank you for saying it didn't make me look bad. I appreciate that, buddy. I don't think I did anything wrong whatsoever. In fact, I know for a fact I did nothing wrong. So anyone that's got a problem with it, kiss it. But I have no issue with him bringing a Bible in. You know, some people love their faith. Some people, you know, it's whatever, you know, whatever spurs you on, whatever makes you feel better, whatever gives you the confidence, you know. And we see it all the time, people thanking Jesus and dedicating the fights to God and all the rest of it. Hey, if that floats your boat and that's what gets you going and that's what you believe, then God bless you. Well done. Good for you. Yeah, good for you. So I don't have an issue with that. You know, I really don't. Some people are like that, you know. Some people are like that, you know. Mike, I asked you in the last live chat, do I take any nootropics or know anything about them? I don't, mate. I am talking about stuff like GABA, L-theanine, L-taurucine. I am using them to recover from TBI. No, I don't take those things, mate. I don't take those things. I don't take a lot of supplements at all, although I just said to my wife before she went down to the supermarket to get the barbecue stuff, I'm going to start, you know, I need to buy some new protein. I'm going to invest in some supplements and stuff like that because, you know, getting 45 in Feb, you know, want to get back in really, really good shape, feel good about myself. And, you know, slows down the aging process. Shiv is back. Thank you, Shiv. What do you think about Colby saying that he had to cut the promo in Brazil to save his career? Does the UFC promote impropriety to an extent? Colby Covington is a controversial character. And I think controversy is a good and a bad thing, but it makes people watch. You know, you have to evoke emotion. And he certainly has done that. And he's now one of the biggest stars in the organization. And this character that he has is a very popular one, whether you love what he says or hate what he says. Colby Covington's a great guy, you know, but if he can evoke emotion out of people, that's a very powerful thing to have, you know, and I think the UFC recognize that. Pray for Hawaii. Of course. Listen, my thoughts are with everyone. It is my wife and I, we went to Maui on our honeymoon. So, you know, we love the island of Maui. I'm very, very good friends with Kendall Grove. He used to come and stay with me. I was on him with The Ultimate Fighter. Him and his family lived there. You know, so, you know, he came and lived with us. Well, not lived with us, did multiple training camps, stayed with us. So, yeah, we've been out there a bunch of times. And it's a beautiful place and a beautiful culture. And the people are amazing. And our heart was just devastated when we saw that. We really were. We really, really were. So it's so sad. It's a terrible, terrible situation. And I will say this, I don't know much about the so-called conspiracies or causes or whatever, because I wasn't there. I don't know anything about that, so I'm not going to comment on that stuff. But I do think there should be more help, more government assistance. I see that Zelensky just requested $24 billion in aid for the war in Ukraine, and I'm not getting into that side of things, but I think if they're sending hundreds of billions over to Ukraine, they could send some of those billions out to Hawaii, out to Maui, and kickstart that process out there. Of course, nothing's going to bring back the lost ones, though. People that lost loved ones. That's the biggest thing. I mean, it's just fucking awful, isn't it? Satan's favorite YouTube channel, Sinner. Go on, bro. You are out of your mind. In the UFC, Did I have to fight any of my friends? By the way, this is Lil Babushki. No, I never did. No. I fought some people that I didn't have an issue with. Some people that I kind of liked, like Dan Miller, the brother of Jim Miller. I fought him at UFC 110 when Rashad Evans fought Quinton Rampage Jackson. I was the co-main event, and how can you not like that guy? He's an awesome guy. I know you don't know much about him, probably, if you're new to the sport, but he was a really, really good fighter. Yeah, but never any friends. Never any friends. So, yeah, there we go. Mike, what kind of stuff gets said in your earpiece during the interviews? Well, not a lot. Not a lot gets said. It's just stuff like one more question, or ask 2 questions. We got to wrap, or it'll be something like, we're showing the knockout on the screen. Ask him to walk us through it. You know, because I'm not aware that they're going to start showing it on TV. You know what I mean? So it's just very, very generic stuff like that. And of course, they tell me when to wrap the interview. You know, and when they tell me to wrap the interview, I have to wrap the interview. And you could say, "Oh, you're doing what you're told." Well, yeah, I'm a professional. You know, it's TV. You know, and it's a very, very highly produced TV show. You know what I mean? I can't just go rogue and go, you know what? No. We're gonna have a good 10 minutes here. We're gonna really get into the nitty gritty. We're gonna talk about this. No, there's an allotted time slot on TV for however many fights there are, promos, advertisements. You know, the whole business of television is very complicated. So, you know, I go in there. And sometimes if there's a very, very quick finish or whatever, you have a little bit more time. But we still had a 5-round main event to go. So there you go. BYM is better than the MMA Hour. Thank you, Jesse Sexton. I think so as well. I just need to get more guests on. That is one good thing about the MMA Hour. They have a lot of very, very good guests on. And I'm not sure who reaches out and gets those guests. I organise all the guests for BYM. You know, I just shoot him a message, a text if I have the number, or a DM on Instagram and stuff like that. And I don't know why I feel weird doing that. I should really get a talent booker, somebody to book all the guests, because I would love to have more on, you know, more on. So, yeah. Connor Ainses says, hey, Bisping, do I think Jones would have beaten DC if they fought at heavyweight? Sorry, this beer is repeating on me. I don't know. The first fight they had was really close. Sure, Jones won it, right? I scored it for Jones. But DC did himself really proud. Second fight, we know that Jones got the finish. But he also tested positive for steroids. If I'm remembering that correctly, the whole picogram thing, I think he failed his drug test. Didn't he? It was in Anaheim, California. Pretty sure he did. Hold on. Did John Jones fail drug test versus Daniel? So there we go. Yeah, it was overturned. Jones defeated Cormier twice during his 205-pound title reign, one which was overturned to a no contest after Jones tested positive for a turinable metabolite in their rematch. Yeah. So if they fought at heavyweight, who knows? I don't know, mate. You know, I can't really give an opinion on that. We saw the 2 fights at light heavyweight. You weren't got to think it would go kind of similar. Although, in DC's favour, he had to kill himself to get down to 205, as did John Jones, though. Let's call it fair, you know what I mean? Both of them are massive for 205. Shiv is back once again. Thank you, Shiv. Which division is dying, according to me? Whether it be because of the champion domination, lack of personalities. Personally, I believe light heavyweight and featherweight. Hopefully Pereira saves the light heavyweight division. I think there's cycles in the sport, isn't there? Back in the days of Chuck Liddell, Rampage, Tito Ortiz even, the light heavyweight division, that was what they called the glamour division. That's where all the big stars were. And all the big fights. Randy Couture, Babalu Sobral, I mean, the list goes on. So many great fighters. And myself, I started off as a light heavyweight. I'm joking though. But now it's not. Now you're saying, now it's the lightweight division. you know. So, and sure, lightweight. I think the lightweight division right now is because, I don't know, what is the average size of a human or the average weight of a human? I'd say bigger than 155, but probably around 170. And if you walk around at 170, 180, you might get down to 155. So that's probably why. I don't think any of them are dying, personally, other than women's 145. That could do with an injection of some talent. But again, there's not many women walking around at 145 pounds. You know, they're few and far between. Let's have a look at this. I am curious. What is the average weight? What is the average weight of a male male hunk? No, not a human being. Not a hunting dog. Boom. When only talking about the US, well, no offense to anyone in America, that kind of skews it, doesn't it? That kind of skews it because, you know, there's an obesity issue. We'll change that to worldwide. Average height. Now, I don't want the height. I never said average weight. Average weight. Asia, 126. Europe, 155. These seem very low. Latin America and the Caribbean, 149. North America, 177. That's crazy. That is shocking to me. Huh. Interesting. So, yeah, there you go. That's why 155 then has got such a great talent pool, because it's a bigger talent pool. There you go. Butchered that one, didn't I? So, anyway, let's have a look at some of these super chats. The reason 155 is amazing is that a ton of dudes are 170 when in peak shape. Yeah, just said that. Mike, what do I think about I'm a pussy being traded to ONE FC? I'm a pussy. Thoughts on Paul Hughes, Cage Warriors featherweight champ? Apologies, not familiar, my friend. Not familiar. It's hard to keep up with so much MMA. It really is. That guy in the sky, Mike, I have a quagmire. When your lady is mad for it, and you're just chilling, a cold beer, watching sport, how do you make the missus down lightly? I'll be honest, that's never a problem I've encountered. She might come and give me a slap in a minute. She just walked in. Yeah, it's never a problem I've encountered, mate. But if it is a problem that you're suffering with, one, I feel for you. Secondly, count your blessings, bro. You're a lucky man. Who am I grappling in December on Fight Pass? I won't be grappling in December. Any rumours of the UFC 300? Who would I like to see? Well, I'd like to see, and that's from Rehab with Watke. I would like to see Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. I would like to see that sooner, but I probably think they're going to save that now. I don't think, from what I'm hearing, because of the schedules, it's going to land. I mean, we're on UFC 296 at the end of the year. 7, 8, 9, 300, January, February, March, April. If they do one pay-per-view a month, that tells me that's going to be in April, okay? So UFC 300, put your money on it. Go to the bookies. I would say UFC 300 will be headlined by Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, because that is the biggest fight in the sport right now. Simple as that. Granted, there's other more compelling matchups. There's other fights that are maybe more deserving. But in terms of fanfare, pay-per-view, money generating, a massive spectacle event for UFC 300, then yeah, it doesn't get any bigger than that. I would also like to see Jim Miller compete on UFC 300. His dream, because he was on UFC 100, 200, and to fight on 300. Wouldn't that be amazing? It really would. It really would. And what a legend Jim Miller is. Shout out to that guy. Anyway, how much do I weigh, bro? Someone says. Right now, I got on the scale this morning, and it was a shocking 226 pounds. I look okay, though. I'm not bad with my shirt off. I'm all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be prancing around. I've got a movie coming up, hopefully, next year. So the diet starts now. A lot of the time when you're doing movie stuff, and I know you're not interested in this shit, but still. But a lot of the time, it comes up last minute. So you got to panic fucking diet and all the rest of it. But hopefully, around May, June next year. I've got a big project. So trying to get ripped, mate. Trying to get ripped. Right. Philip Anthony says, what's the deal with the UFC belts? They say 12 pounds of gold. That's like $230,000. Do the UFC champions really bring home a belt worth that much? Rebecca, would you bring me both of my UFC belts, please, darling? Yeah, bring both of them. Because I got two. No, it's not solid gold. I wish it was solid gold. I don't think it's solid gold anyway. I've never had it tested. I don't know, mate. I don't know. But yeah, no, they're not worth $230,000. I don't know if they are. I don't think they are. I hope they are, because my wife's about to bring in $500,000 worth of gold if that's true. But I don't think so. I think they're gold plated. But sentimental value, certainly to a fan, certainly for whatever. I mean, there's a lot of value there. Oh, Rebecca. Oh, baby. Come on, bring it round this side. Come on. This is the biggest dick move you've ever seen in your life. Look at that, the arrogance on this guy. I look like DC. Right, now what?
Now do I have to take him away?
Do you want to say hi to everyone real quick? Just pop your face in, say hi. We're talking about MMA. Hey, babe.
What?
I'm a Satanist.
I know. I've been saying this all along.
I'm a narcissist.
I've been saying that all along.
Yeah, oh. Take the belt away. What are we having for dinner? Come on, tell everyone.
Steak with potato salad, with like just a regular salad and chimichurri sauce.
Salad.
And sausages.
Who's cooking it?
That would be me.
No, I'm barbecuing.
That's not, no. This is what gets me. I get all the stuff, everything that's required for said barbecue. I prepare it all, I do everything, and then I physically hand it to him, and he grills it, and then he thinks that he's the one that's done all the cooking. I marinate. I prep everything.
Yep.
But yeah, you want all the
glory. I cook it. I'm the grill master. It will be on Instagram later, so keep an eye out for that one. But yeah. She looks better with the belts than you do. She does, Brandon. She really does.
Do I suit gold?
You suit gold, babe.
Thanks. It's my colour.
You don't like gold, do you?
I do like gold. I just don't wear jewellery, really.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, you don't like jewellery. Your hair's looking nice, says Danielle Cooper.
Oh, thank you. Did you say Danielle?
Danielle, it was a woman.
Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate that.
Hey, Beck, I hit harder than Henderson. Ooh, he's hard, isn't he? He's hard.
Good to know.
But he does the cooking, though. Thank you, that guy in the sky.
He does not.
I do the cooking.
No, you don't.
What do I think about Charles Jourdain inside and outside the Octagon? No, we just got this from Tom Achran.
Back's hurting.
All right, it's the 12 pounds of gold.
So heavy.
Are they heavy?
They're heavy, yes.
They're heavy. I think Charles Jourdain, I don't know much about him outside the Octagon other than speaking to him in preparation for fights, doing fighter meetings and stuff. Seems like a really, really nice guy. Inside the Octagon, I think he's fantastic. I think he's going to go a very long way. He's still only, I think, 27 years old. Charles Jourdain is phenomenal. I'm a big fan. Big fan of that guy. Really am. When are we going to see Michael Bisping as a Bond henchman?
Yeah, I'm going to put these away.
All right, babe. Thank you. I don't know, man. I would love to be a Bond henchman. I've got some big stuff in the pipeline. Call Uncle Dana and get the facts on the belts. Make a video about them. That's not a bad idea, Philip Anthony. That's actually a very good idea. That is a good idea. Quebec's fighter. Yeah. Never ate a marinated steak that didn't have to be cooked. Yeah, exactly. You got to cook it. Switch with the wife. Bisping hates God. I don't hate God. Who's that? Ram. I said this before, and everyone's coming out of the woodwork. You know what I mean? We're all entitled to our beliefs. And I respect everybody's belief. I get silly often, and I say a lot of dumb stuff, and I'm just joking around, and stuff's taken out of context. But if somebody truly believes in God, then I have nothing but respect for them, and I would hope that they were then, because of that, a very, very good person. because generally that's what they should be. That is, from my understanding, what the Bible essentially teaches, to be a good, caring, compassionate person. Do unto others as you should do to yourself. The 10 commandments, for example, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, and so on and so forth. So if you do that, then I assume that you're a great person. I don't hate fucking God, but I don't believe God's real. I can't hate someone. I can't hate a negative, right? Does that make me a bad person? Because if you think it does, then you're a fool, I'm the fool. I can't see jack shit. We've got 3 kittens dying all over the place here. Someone said, every time I touch my eye, a kitten dies. There we go. We're back. Oh, gee, it's so annoying. What are my thoughts on Whittaker after his last fight? Lost a step or just outclassed on the night? Yeah, I don't think Rob's lost a step. I would never say that. I'm such a fan of Robert Whittaker. I really am, as a person and a fighter. Savage in the octagon, brilliant outside the cage, fantastic family man, really, really great guy. Seems like Dricus du Plessis is just a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, I don't think you can say he's lost a step. Thoughts on Hamzat ditching Sweden as his country and going with the UAE? Sold his soul for oil money. Well, I don't think he's getting any oil money. He just doesn't have to take any money and give it to the tax man, right? So, again, look, this is what people do. Sold his soul for oil money. We're all trying to get ahead in life. We're all trying to do our thing. We're all trying to be a provider. If you're a family man, or even if you're not, if you're a family woman, or even you're a single man, we all need, in the world that we live in, it's a capitalist society. We need money, okay? And that's the sad reality of things. And if he's going to go and work, he's going to train, he's going to earn money, and he can get away with paying taxes by living in the UAE, and he's got a lot of fans out there, and he's comfortable there, and he fits in with that community, which of course he does, then good for him. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. He wants to avoid paying taxes. He's not Swedish. I know he lived in Sweden. I don't know his exact backstory, but I don't think he's Swedish either. So, by the way, everyone, I've got to tell you this. Tales from the Octagon 2, all the devil worshippers will be getting together. Tales from the Octagon 2. If you were at Tales from the Octagon 1 last year, or 2 years ago, what a fantastic event that was. We did it in Manchester, London, Glasgow, Birmingham. They were all sold out. Incredible atmosphere. Everyone had a fantastic time. So we're doing it again, this time only in London and Manchester. Same venues, the Indigo at the O2, the Apollo in Manchester. There was like 3,500 people in Manchester. It was wild. And there will be myself. We'll have a comedian, Dapper Laughs, Daniel O'Reilly, hilarious guy. He'll be opening the night. I'll come out, we'll talk, we'll tell some anecdotes, we'll have a laugh. Then we bring Tom Aspinall out, we'll bring Paul Craig out. So it's going to be fun. So keep an eye out for ticket sales because they're not on sale yet, but they will be going on sale pretty soon. So how long have we been going for here? Almost an hour. Keep the Wi-Fi on. Rebecca, you're being requested again. Michael, DJ has just came out and said that MMA is fixed at the high levels. Well, Chris, I don't know what to tell you. It's not. Demetrius Johnson said that? So is he saying that all of his fights were fixed? I can't imagine he would say that because that takes away from his great achievements. That's just nonsense. Come to Yuma, Arizona. Free food at Da Boy's Pizza. I would love to. Thoughts on Arnold? Get to the chopper. Come on. Kill me. What are you waiting for? Thoughts on Arnold as he's Schwarzenegger? I fucking love that guy, man. That is one of my heroes. It really is. I don't have heroes necessarily, but that's a guy that inspired me a lot. Seeing what he did, his whole career, his whole story, coming from a poor family, becoming the biggest bodybuilder, the most successful bodybuilder, then becoming the fucking biggest movie star on planet Earth, then the governor of California. What a story. And then, I might have told this before, but I'll tell it again because I'm proud of it. I met him. I was at Gold's Gym in Venice, California. I'm in the gym. I'm working out with Mike O'Hearn. Shout out to Mike O'Hearn. We're lifting weights. And I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he was just an amazing guy. He really was. They always say never meet your heroes. He was incredible. He gave me a lot of good advice because he knows I do a little bit of acting. You know, I always say that, little bit of acting. You know, and I do. It's a little bit of acting. You know, but he was talking to me about that side of things. Obviously, we had that in common. I was an athlete. You know, he's a bodybuilder. So, he gave me a lot of good advice. But just more than that, just a beautiful human being. He was so fucking awesome, man. And then he got on his bike and rode off. And I thought, again, that was great. You know, not like all the security guards and bodyguards and stuff like that and fucking, you know, minders and gets in a fucking limo and drives off. Got on his bike, his push iron, as we say in Clitheroe. Got on his push iron and rode off. That's awesome, man. Anyway, can I beat Chael Sonnen in an arm wrestling match? Left arm, without a shadow of a doubt. And tell Chael, I am laying down the gauntlet. I will fucking destroy Chael Sonnen. Right arm is a bit weak. My right arm's weak because of my neck. Major atrophy, loss of strength on that side. So yeah, right arm. Anytime someone wants to arm wrestle, because my left arm is good. It really is. Anytime someone wants to arm wrestle, I always lie. I said, well, we're going to do left arm. I said, my right one's injured. My right's injured. Oh, it's bad. I've got a bad shoulder at the minute. I can't do that. And they go, but I'm right-handed. I go, yeah, so am I. Let's do left. Come on, baby. Bosh. Anyway, Arnold is your God. No, he's not my God. I'm just saying he's someone I looked up to. You're the witch, Bisping, not my wife. Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I am. We've got some more members talk. Andrew Lee. We've got a new member back. We've got a new member. Come and give him a woo. Come here. People calling you for you, not me. People are calling for you, babe. You're being requested. You're being summoned.
Just unstacking.
Oh, Jesus, you're coming to kill me. Jesus Christ, is one knife not enough?
Is that your bad side? Or you
No, it's my good side.
Oh, it's lucky you saw it.
Yeah. Come round the back. Mike looks up to the devil. There's no such thing as the devil. Okay, we're all responsible for what we do in life. You know, we all make good and bad choices. I don't think it's the devil.
Devil's just an excuse for bad behaviour.
The devil is an excuse for bad behaviour. You heard it right from Rebecca Bisping.
Yes. God will forgive you, says Scott McLean.
Well, good. I hope he does.
He forgives everything. What is the deal with that? You can just do whatever you want and just ask for forgiveness and he'll just forgive you. Is that the way it works?
That seems like a flawed process.
It does.
It does. I'm not judging. Don't get on your high horse. But like, she doesn't believe in God at all.
I am a legit atheist.
She's a legit atheist. And, you know, she wouldn't let us get our children baptized.
Well, of course not. I'm not a hypocrite.
I was going to get our kids baptized. She wouldn't let them, would you, babe?
No, I would not. Why would I? When it's a waste of time. They're just fine as the way they
Rebecca, what was your thoughts? What was the thoughts on Bryce's interview?
Yeah, I thought it was a great interview. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I think he's a great guy. I do. And that's the thing. I don't judge someone for their religion or political views or whatever. I just base someone based upon, the personality. And he seems like a really, really nice guy. And he's very entertaining and it was very funny. I was laughing because, I watched it. It was hilarious.
Yeah. No, Bryce is great. Bryce is great.
Telling us all about witches. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. Oh dear, the root of all evil has been exposed. Mike, chip balm cake. Oh, where's that one? I like talking about this stuff.
Balm cake.
I've lost it.
Get down.
Chip balm cake with curry sauce. Thoughts? No.
Oh.
For the non-English, that is chips on a tea cake.
Bread roll.
Not a tea cake. A bread roll. That's what we call it in my neck of the woods. Balm, a bap, a tea cake, bread roll. What else?
I think that's it.
What are the big ones? What did they call?
A baton.
Not a baton. There's a baton. Oven.
I don't know.
Oven
But anyway.
lid. What do they call it? Oven
For
bun.
the Americans, when we say
It's fries, man. Fries on a bread roll, bro, with curry sauce.
not fries though.
It's fries,
like
man. It's fucking fries.
The chunky ones.
It's the chunky chips, bro. Rebecca's thoughts on what are you? All right, this is good. This is a good conversation. And I'm glad Rebecca's here because you can say this. Somebody says, and it's gone now. Mr. Sharp, thoughts on Russell Brand. Go ahead.
I love Russell Brand. And I think I don't.
Jesus.
I do. I like.
Pardon me.
I like him. He admits to being very promiscuous and all of that, but he always says that it was consensual, and I do believe him. Do I think that these women are lying? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But maybe they think what happened, that sounds bad, was non-consensual or inappropriate. But I think what used to be considered as sexual abuse is very different to what we now consider sexual abuse. Like the goalposts have changed, so you can't take behavior back then that was acceptable and apply it to today's principles.
Yeah,
I mean, what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I will say this: it does seem that because it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. It hasn't run its course. It hasn't been investigated. It does seem like a smear campaign. I mean, they are covering it a lot. And some of the stuff that we've seen, that the news are covering, and they're interviewing people, like they're interviewing, is it Baron Andrew Sachs or Andrew Sachs? He was an actor on Fawlty Towers. And Russell Brand, he was sleeping with his daughter. And him granddaughter, pardon me. And him and Jonathan Ross, he's a celebrity in the UK. They were doing a radio show, and they called this guy up, and he told this guy that he slept with his granddaughter and all the rest of it. Which is, listen, that's bad taste. That's cruel. It's disgusting. It really is. But it was two guys being very, very immature and stupid and insensitive. So they're going on about that. They're bringing that up. They're bringing up any tiny little thing. And a lot of this stuff isn't relevant. And then without justice, without a thorough investigation, without the police looking into it properly, they are the judge, the jury, the executioners. I think it's because he's got a big voice, because he's got a massive YouTube following, and and he goes against the narrative of the mainstream media. I don't know, but that certainly seems to be the case from where I stand.
And it seems that people have his back this time too.
Oh yeah,
like a lot of the time that doesn't happen.
No,
but in this case with Russell, I think this would be a good time for him to really kind of, I don't watch his stuff, to be honest with you, too much, but I think it would be a really good time to start kind of really voicing his opinions now that their spotlight is on him.
They took him off YouTube and demonetized him, so let's just move on with the convo. Thoughts on Darren? It's a joke, guys. Thoughts on Darren Till? I haven't spoken to Darren for a while, so I do need to reach out. Notorious, what do we think about Bryce and the whole Bible thing when you were in there interviewing him? I know Bryce is a religious man, so I had no thoughts whether they be positive or negative. Nothing against that. Bryce is very vocal about his religious beliefs. If he wants to have a Bible on him, I'm not sure what the UFC stance is, but he had one on him, so I don't think there's any issues with that whatsoever. I certainly had no issue with it. Banging through these chats.
I'm surprised that they would. I don't mean allow it because it's like a religious, but it's a prop,
Yeah. But still, do I believe in flat Earth? And if you are willing to debate Bryce Mitchell about it, I do not believe in flat Earth. I believe the Earth is spherical. In fact, I know for a goddamn fact. I don't know for a fact. I haven't been out and seen it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a fucking expert on any of that stuff. But I'm also. Here's what I said to Bryce Mitchell, and if you want to see it, Glassmaster, it's on this channel. Search videos. There's an interview with Bryce Mitchell. It's about 45 minutes long. It's hilarious, and we go deep. But for example, look at the technology that I'm sitting here in California, and I don't know where you people are in the world, but you're all listening. You're all ingesting this. I'm reading your questions. There's a lot of smart people out there. They make TVs. They make lights. They make radios. They make Wi-Fi. They make aeroplanes. They take a plane that is fucking so heavy, and it flies into the sky.
Basically, there's a lot of smart people.
There's a lot of smart people out there.
Way smarter than us.
I'm an idiot, right? They say the Earth's round. I'll say that, and I'm not a sheep. Before you all start, he'll believe anything. There's a lot of common things that are accepted, and I think that's one of them. So.
I agree.
So yeah.
Agreed.
What do we think about Bryce Mitchell's chances in a rematch against Ilya? I don't know. Ilya Tapori is really, really good, man. Also, just wondering if the UFC as a general protocol tries to discourage religious talks. No, they don't. Not to my knowledge. I've never heard that once.
No.
UFC never tells them what to say and what not to say.
Which is good.
What do I think about Bryce and the whole Bible thing? Just did that one. Mike, love you, brother. Thank you, Timmy, and everything you do for us. You're the best. I appreciate that, Timmy.
It's nice.
Timothy. Thank you, sir. We're going to wrap this one up in a second. I was working all day yesterday and all night yesterday. Drove home. I was very tired. I got attacked. I got attacked.
You didn't get attacked.
A guy. Well, all right. This is where modern society has changed, right? I didn't get attacked. I didn't get attacked. No. Attacked would mean I put my hands. Somebody like legit came at me and attacked me. I wouldn't call that attacked. But I was verbally assaulted. You see what I'm saying, though? They would say attacked. They would say attacked.
If that was me, I'd be really freaked out and scared about that. So you could call it verbal assault.
UFC is not pro-Muslim or anti-Christianity. Why is UFC pro-Muslim?
Why is UFC pro? That is not true.
It's not true at all.
Boogie Thug Rose. That is not.
It's a stretch, bro. It's a stretch. Now, I will say this. And the only reason I bring this up is because I saw a lot of people talking about this on Twitter and stuff like that. And Jesse on Fire, he's a mate of mine, and he does a YouTube channel, and he did a whole little video on this situation. So I had a quick look at the comments, and people saying, "Well, hold on, how come Khabib was able to do that when he was in Abu Dhabi or on Fight Island or something like that?" I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly what it said. I will say this, and again, if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize, because I'm not the TV expert. I'm just a commentator, okay? But I think on a pay-per-view, there's a little bit more leeway for stuff like that because it's not as strictly governed. They're not trying to get to Sunday Night Football or the NBA game or the soccer or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? They have a time slot that they own, and they can do whatever they want with. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyway, whatever. Imagine getting verbally assaulted. Just cover your ears. Exactly. So I'll tell you what happened. So I'm driving home last night, and the traffic, it was great. It said I'd be home by 9:30. I was like, whoa, let's go. We've got a new member.
Woo.
Yeah, didn't really. And then all of a sudden the time on the way starts going up. It says 10:14. I'm like, shit. 10:22. So I start going even faster. I'm like, I will outbeat this traffic. And anyway, I didn't. By the end, I walked in at about 12:15. Right, so I added like 4 hours onto it. I was so annoyed. At one point, I'm sitting on this country lane because Waze tried to take me around it. The problem was that everyone was on that diversion. So we're on this little country lane in the middle of nowhere, pitch black, and there's 2 lanes. And they're not moving. They're not moving at all. Like 20 minutes past, we haven't even moved one foot. So I'm on my phone, I'm looking, and every now and I was looking at Twitter or whatever. We're not moving, babe. There was no driving. I had the car.
Illegal.
I had the car in park.
It's illegal.
Stop. And every now and again, you look up from your phone, and the traffic has moved on 10 feet. You know what I mean? So you move on 10 feet, and then you go back to looking at your phone because you're bored. And when I looked, the left lane seemed to be going quicker than the lane I was in. And then when I looked, there was also a gap for me to get in there because the guy was doing the same thing as me. He wasn't moving and staying like with the flow of traffic. There was a little bit of a gap. So I thought, I'm going to go in that one because that looks like it's going quicker. So I pull into that. And as I start pulling in, the guy drives up behind me to not let me get in, right? And I'm like, well, I'm 3/4 of the way in now, so I'm going to carry on coming. And he's beeping his horn, going mental, flashing his lights, all sorts. And he puts his window down and he's screaming at me like a maniac. And I put the window down. He's going, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. So I'm, oh, fuck off, like that. He jumps out of the car because we're not moving. Couldn't have driven away if he wanted to. He jumps out of the car and he walks right up to the door and he's like, I will smash it. I will fuck you up, man. Get out the car. Get out the car. Let's go. Let's go. And I'm sitting there and I'll be honest, she doesn't believe me. I was very calm.
I don't believe you.
I was calm.
Your version of calm.
I was.
No.
I said,
I've been with you so many times. You are unable to stay calm in those situations.
Well, no, I was.
It might have been calm for you,
Out
but
there.
it wasn't. Okay, carry on. I wasn't there.
I'm staying calm. No, I was calm. I mean, I might have verbally assaulted him. No, I said, what the fuck are you doing? I said, what the fuck are you doing right now? He said, get out the car. I said, trust me, you want to walk away right now. And he's like, he kind of stops. He's like, get out the fucking car, man. He said, I couldn't stop. I'm in a truck with a trailer. And I never thought about this. When I got home, Rebecca said, we weren't even moving. Right? So he was trying to find reasons to justify his anger. And I'm like, I suggest you walk away. And I think, because he probably thought I'd be, well, according to Google, according to this.
You do like to change lanes when you drive,
according to this, the average size is a 149-pound man. I could have been Asian. I could have been 126 pounds. But no, what he was greeted with was 226 pounds of fucking prime British beef, right? And he's looking, and then you can see a few scars, and he's probably like, oh, this guy looks a little bit tasty. I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah, go on. Back in your car, you fat piece of shit. Lay off the cheeseburgers, bro. Anyway, so that's my little story.
That annoys me about your driving, though. No offense. He likes to change lane too often. Like, just pick a lane and sit in it. Like, that one might be going ever so slightly faster, and he has to get over. But then, of course, because it's going a little faster, everyone else is getting in that lane, so then it goes slower. Just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane, Michael.
I try and stay in my lane.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, you stay in your lane. Go back to cooking. Anyway, it's a good one, isn't it? Right, we're going to wrap this up in just a second. I'll tell you what, it's been an hour 16. I was going to do an hour. We'll make it an hour 30. So there's 14 minutes left. The countdown's on. 14 minutes. Pick a lane, Mike.
Pick a lane.
What do I think about
Someone just said Rebecca got fat.
Oh.
I'm a bit thick today, aren't I?
You're a bit...
looking a bit bloated.
Well, we go up and down. We go up and down, and that's very rude, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I don't care, honestly.
I
I don't get offended.
I guarantee he's a God-fearing guy. You know what I mean? Caesar Bisping of Rome. Rebecca, I'm a descendant from an emperor of Rome.
Oh, my God. Well, your 23andMe did not bring up any of that.
Rebecca.
It didn't bring up anything from that part of the world.
Listen, stop. We'll talk about this after.
I'm going to get it up on my phone.
No, I will show you. It's not 23andMe is not going to show you who your descendants were.
No, it's going to show you from that part of the
Rebecca,
world. Rebecca,
stop. Danny Mitchell, the cheesecake assassin.
He says.
He went back and traced all my family history.
Well, it must be true then.
Well, I'll take it.
It's just because it sounds cool.
Yeah, it does.
No one can be descended from that many.
Someone says it's just one guy trolling Rebecca.
Yeah, that's it. They're just trolling me.
Yeah.
I'm looking thin as ever.
Yeah, Adesanya just got into a drunken drive case, Bisping. Did he? Oh, dear. Oh, well, hope it all worked out. And I'll be honest with that guy as well last night. And this is a real thing in the States. Because in the UK, and again, don't take this the wrong way, I'm not attacking American culture, far from it, I'm just talking about the facts. In the UK, I would feel very, very confident because, I can handle myself. So regardless of who it was, I wouldn't be too bothered. But in the States, he's probably got a gun in the truck anyway. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%. 1,000%. He had a gun. So that's what you need to watch out for with your road rage incident.
Well, I didn't rage. I didn't rage.
No, I'm sure
I was on the road, but there was no rage. There was calm. I harnessed the good energy. I blocked the bad. Harnessed the good, blocked the bad.
Danny BLT Australian accent? Yes.
Oh, good eye, mate. Yeah. So, like, Robert Whittaker, he's a great fighter. She says that I can't do an Australian accent. Oh, that was bad.
You can't.
But he started off. Oh, bloody hell, mate.
Waddy says Rebecca, Empress of Rome. Yes.
Oh, see, now you love it. It's fucking true, by the way.
You don't know that.
We're getting him on. We're getting him on alive.
Well, how did he find that out? I want to see the proof.
Because he did this
and
whole
And can you do my family history?
Yeah,
you
right.
You can't just do the exciting ones. You've got to do, like, boring ones, too.
Bisping your guns versus the real guns. Exactly.
Don't like your chances, babe.
In the UK, you'd have a knife. You're probably right. Sadly, in certain parts of the country, anyway. And by the way, as I say, I don't think that the UK is a perfect country, far from it. You know what I mean? There's so many problems, so many issues. It's going to the shits. It really is. And the knife crime is out of control. Certainly in London, it's wild. You see these kids, and they're running around with like these massive machetes and stuff. It's fucking insane. It really is. So trust me, I know there's issues in a lot of places. Yeah.
But you can do much less damage with a knife.
Yeah, don't get into it, babe. Stop it. Just shut your mouth.
What? Can I not say that? It's facts.
Yeah, I know. But as I say, favorite football team, Man United. Yeah, Manchester is bad as well. I think you'll find that most major cities in the world is the same way. You know what I mean? Whether it's London, Manchester, Los Angeles, Chicago, you know, big cities have big problems. It's just a sad reality. Mike, you're a really good guy, and I like your family. God bless you and your beautiful wife. Well, thank you, Riyadh. Thank you, Riyadh. I appreciate that. I do.
It's nice.
No, that's very nice. And some guy keeps saying, he keeps putting it in, Rebecca's bulking up for her heavyweight division. If you had a wife, I guarantee she's ugly, judging by that disgusting comment that he likes to make.
I don't care.
Show us a picture of your wife, bro. Show us a picture of your wife.
It's all right.
Wiko says, when is the Red Sonja trailer coming out? I don't know. I don't know when the film's coming out. But I tell you what, if I don't make the trailer, I'm going to be pissed off. I spent 10 weeks in Bulgaria. If I spent 10 weeks in Bulgaria to not even get on the trailer, on the fucking poster, our pets' heads are going to fall off. We're going to have some real shenanigans, some real talk.
You'll make the trailer.
I better make the trailer. It's my biggest part. It's a good part, and I'm very good in it, if I do say so myself. Rebecca's hot. Respect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm only saying that stuff because there's some pricks.
You don't. It's fine. You don't need to read that out.
Mike, going to get a shout out for my girlfriend's birthday. Her name is Villa. Shout out to Villa from Indonesia.
Villa.
Might be going to Indonesia next year, babe.
Really?
Yeah, I told you.
It's mine.
Where is mine?
I don't know.
Oh, mine's there. So, yeah. No man alive. Correct, Mark R1. Listen. Michael, do I meditate? Do I look like the kind of man that meditates?
I think you should meditate.
Yeah, I think I should. I've tried.
Well, how are you meant to meditate if you've got ADHD?
I've tried.
Asking for a friend.
I have tried to meditate.
Not me.
No, I have tried.
Of ADD.
I've tried. Like, you got to sit there. You got to clear your mind. Essentially think of nothing and just be still and peace.
Yes.
I can't. Shit just pops in.
Yeah, but I think you've got to take it in stages. First of all, what I would suggest is just to not sit there with your phone in your hand and turn the TV off and just sit in silence and not be staring at a screen. No, you could call that meditation.
Yeah, well, I do.
And that's beneficial.
And I often say my meditation is when I go for my morning runs. You know what I mean? I like that. I connect with nature. But
that's closer to meditation. Just sitting quietly, no distractions. To me, meditating you could be alone with your thoughts. That's not a bad thing. But I just think meditation is good to have no exterior, distractions.
Richard Salas, you're great at calling fights, and Rebecca is looking beautiful as always. Thank you. Richard Solis. Huzaifa Kabadia, did I see the interview of the divorce attorney? He talks about the state of marriages, and it's like you two and people like Jesse on Fire are in the rare majority of long and happy marriages. Well, thank you very much. And Philip Anthony also says it's rare. It must be hard for Callum and Lucas to have the hot mum.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
but thank you.
I don't think they see it quite like that. Mm-hmm. Jealous of your happiness. Well, look, listen, the reason I wanted to do this live today, to just go back to it, is because I don't really care too much, because there's a lot of people supporting me, but there was a tremendous and an overwhelming amount of hate towards me, and that I don't like religion, and I mocked Bryce's beliefs, and I'm the devil, and I'm Satan, and all the rest of it, which is just utter goddamn nonsense.
You had him on your podcast. He sat and talked about religion for an extended period of time.
In depth.
So
in depth. He was still allowed to pray. We just had to move on with the show, and that's about it, you know. Oh shit! Let's smack the microphone. We're going to wrap it up in just a second. I am the Antichrist. There you go. There you go. Body piercing saved our souls.
Okay.
All right.
Get a body piercing. Your soul will be saved.
Rebecca, you're the devil woman.
Correct.
She is a bit of a devil.
Am I?
No, but you're like, what's the word?
Careful.
No, not a witch. Bryce Mitchell said that she's a witch.
No, he said that you'd know if I was a witch because they speak in tongues and I don't know. Crazy.
No, but you like dark stuff. Everything's black. You do light your candles every night. You love the witches. Where we're from, there is witches. It's very, very well known for it, and you are obsessed with the witches and the witch culture.
It's an interesting story. But it's interesting because of the fact that the way the trial came about, it's not so much the fact that I'm reading about witches and their witchcraft and their spells. That the real story is kind of, did they get a fair trial and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I like, she's perhaps gothic, correct. I'm a little bit on the goth side.
She is a big, big goth. Anyway, look, listen, we're going to have, we've got some big stuff coming up soon. We've got Jake Paul going up against, Logan Paul, KSI, Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis, KSI, Tommy Fury. So I'm going to do a live watch along with that, probably with the Tyson and the Ngannou stuff as well. We've got massive pay-per-views coming up. We've got lots of big storylines, lots of MMA stuff. And that's about it. Wherever you are in the world, I like doing this. Let me know in the chat, please. Where are you in the world? Yeah, it is all Devin McNulty. We know the witch stuff is all bullshit. That's what's interesting about it, because it's so sad and desperate and seeing these innocent women, you know.
But apparently they actually confess to being witches.
Yeah, well, you know.
Because anyway.
Here's how they would test them to see if they were a witch. You probably know this. If you don't, I'll tell you. They would dunk them in a river, okay? And if you drowned, then you weren't a witch. If you survived, then you were a witch. You know what I mean? Love that logic. All right, so here we go. Arizona, Vatican City. Yeah, right. South Florida, Aussie, Miami, Ireland, Somerset. Oh, Somerset. Didn't want to get my carpet dirty now, did I? Shout out to all the Somerset people. Iceland. Nice. Saudi. Shout out Saudi Arabia.
Florida.
Masson, Georgia.
Kansas.
Fucking beautiful city of Liverpool, lads.
Switzerland. You were talking about Switzerland.
Oh, I can't wait to go to Switzerland. Shout out Preston, straight down the A59 from Clitheroe. Iran. Scotland. Absolutely love Scotland. Who else? Morocco. My thoughts are with you. I know the sadness, that terrible earthquake in Morocco. North Korea. Mangipoy Spectre. Tell Kim Jong-un I say what's up. Blackpool. Oh. Shout out to the Blackpool Massive. She hates Blackpool. She fucking hates it. All right, Manchester. Cade Halliwell. All right, mate. Anaheim. Rob Perry's Ghost. Yeah, North Korea. Naples, Florida. Stockton. 209 in the house. Uns, Germany. Yeah.
Moroccan.
For this, Michael, you don't like the where we're talking about?
New South Wales. What?
New South Wales. Torrance. Bristol. Antarctica. Bradford. Straight up the A59. You do a right towards the airport. All right, Copenhagen. Nice. Oh, man, I had Tales from the Octagon. I know, I'm sorry, Erkan Kifti. Hopefully we'll come back. It's a long story. I was out of the country last year. I had a film to do. I was contractually obliged. I couldn't get out of it.
Wagga Wagga. I think my brother was born in Wagga Wagga.
I was going to say, that sounds a bit... You know, Russia, yes, brother. Shout out to all the Russian people. Louisiana.
Belfast.
Right, so it is. Right, Belfast. Distant cousins in Alice Springs. Justin Trudeau is a goofy. Yeah, he's out of his mind. He is out of his mind.
What did you say to me about him recently?
That is a total bell end. Runcorn. Oh, Runcorn. Philippines. Hull. Gloucester, Area 51, Dubai, Sri Lanka. I love this. This is brilliant. Leicestershire, the ice wall, India.
Blackburn.
So I would do an Indian accent, but for some reason you can't do this. I can do a bloody Australian. I can do,
Oh, my potato.
your potatoes.
Oh my God, they're going to be overdone.
Right, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. We'll be back with more content dropping tomorrow morning. Don't know what it's going to be at Shangri-La, Washington State, New South Wales. My God, you guys are coming in thick and fast. That's it. That's all she wrote. Thank you for watching. We'll be back very, very soon. Remember, just be a good person. First and foremost, congrats to Bryce Mitchell. Congrats to Mateusz Gamrot. Commiserations to all that lost. Congratulations to everyone that had the balls to step in there. But whatever you believe in this world, first and foremost, be a good person. That's what's important. Just because you say that you're a person of God, which is great, be a good person. That's what you should strive for.